This week, Zoran Mamdani is a bright spot in a dark world, but he's not without critics. They're coming for him.
The Democratic establishment is trying to shoot itself in the foot.
There is a target on this man's back.
It's insane.
Absolutely.
Lauryn Hill, class. Your friend Lauryn Hill was late to her set at Essence Fest. Are we shocked? No, but it wasn't entirely her fault. It wasn't entirely her fault because Essence Fest was getting it this year because everyone was pissed. So we're going to talk about that as well.
Absolutely. There's also a rumor that TikTok, we might be losing it. This is the longest fucking breakup.
This whole stupid, I'm so tired of this narrative. It might go away. It's extended. It's not going anywhere. Why is
this shit messier than my divorce? I did this once and it was fucking painful.
So fucking stupid. Just like crazy.
The other thing I want to talk about, everybody in the world is watching Love Island except for me.
And me. we are two peas in a pod. I was with a friend recently and she was like, "Oh, I'm just watching Love Island. It's like I was like, "Really? I don't understand."
Everyone is watching it.
It's like the Real Housewives. So the friend I was with was on a cruise.
Yes.
So I just got back from my first cruise ever. It was a Disney cruise. And there's also some juice about Carnival cruises that came out that what I really appreciate about this conversation is like people are like, it's racist. And I'm like, is it? Or is it just like thinking about everybody on the ship? So we're going to talk about a little bit about that today too.
Yeah. And then Francesca finally did it. She fired her therapist.
Wow.
Can you believe it?
I'm proud of you.
Oh my God.
Claps
all
to
of
you.
this and more this week on
Lemme Fix It. Ooh, wait. No.
Listen. Listen. Wait.
I hate you for that.
Let me fix it. Welcome back to Let Me Fix It, the show that says, are we still doing class-submitted taglines? Because I think we should.
Yeah, why not? Please.
Listen, class, send us a voice note. LetMeFixIt@gmail.com, and we might use your tagline on the show. I'm Francesca Ramsey. I'm an actress. I'm a producer. I'm a writer and a graphic designer.
And I'm still DeLon Grant. I'm an actor, a singer, photographer, writer, and an educator. Now, new season, new show, exclusively on YouTube, fans. Exclusively on the tubes of you, okay?
Oh God.
We're switching things.
Bigger here.
There's more space. It's not 16 by 9.
The lighting is great.
New season, new show. It's kind of the same show, but
the same show.
Right. We're switching things up and we're just doing a barrage of topics this week. So let's dive in. Here we go. Let me fix it.
Okay, DeLon, the news. We started with him. Let's dive in. Zoran Mamdani. Everyone
fine as fuck. Tell me that man is. Fran and I've been talking offline and being like, why is he so cute?
He is a fucking Disney prince.
Okay.
The beard.
He said, Prince Ali, Babulous.
Yes. And look, here's the thing. I don't mean to reduce him to his looks because it's not just that. But absolutely. I will say it's just nice to have a political figure who's the total package.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Heard.
No uglies. I'm tired of fucking uglies.
Well, and I also to your phrase about it's nice to have a political figure X. It's nice to have a political figure who stands their fucking ground on what they believe, 10 toes down. But he's also like calling people in. He's like, no. I know that might seem controversial to you, but I actually think it's going to help everybody. Republicans and Democrats are up in arms over this man, and it's becoming Islamophobic. It's becoming racist. It's becoming crazy.
You know what? I'm going to look right at you, fucking Deborah Messing. I sent you a screenshot. She had the nerve to get up on Instagram and post this video that tried to link this man to 9/11. Mind you, he was 9 years old.
It's crazy.
This is the thing that happens a lot, because they did this to Obama too, where it's like you are simultaneously the most evil person ever and you're totally unqualified. Which one is it? You're a mastermind that orchestrated 9/11 at 9 years old, and also you have too many conspiracies, about the kind of world that we should be living in, and it's dangerous if you're at the helm of New York City. Everyone should be scared, but also
it's it's so red flaggy when people
Mhm.
automatically start saying crazy shit about you instead of actually talking about the policies.
Mhm.
Let's talk about the policies really quick,
Yes.
because instead of attacking the person and his family, which
Yeah.
drives me fucking crazy,
Yeah.
the policies they can't attack. They're talking
Yes.
about, he's talking about free rent. Or freezing the rent, excuse me.
Freezing
Free
the
rent.
rent.
That was a Freudian slip. That was a wish on my part. He's talking about freezing the rent in New York City, free buses,
Mhm.
affordable housing. So that's also it. Not only freezing the rent for a certain time, but then adjusting the rent,
Yes.
how rent can be increased every year, right? When
Yes.
the freeze is taken off. City-owned grocery stores to
Yeah.
prevent food deserts. Because
Yes.
one thing he said, which is so fucking true, you and I both live in New York, Fran.
Mhm.
You can find a bodega, you can find a liquor store, you can find a hair weave store that's run by somebody who isn't black, right? In
But you can't find a good grocery store in
but you
many
can't find
neighborhoods.
Apple. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes.
Free childcare. I mean, how much money will people save with free childcare?
And let's also add to that, not only will they save money, it's better economically for everybody, because if you have free childcare, guess what you could do? Work more.
Work. Absolutely. He's talking about free baby baskets for newborns.
Mhm.
Why is that not a thing already?
I mean,
you can't carry your baby away from the hospital with something in it. You got to have a what?
So much of this stuff, what's wild, Delon, is people in other countries are like, I'm confused. We have all of
You're rich as fuck.
Y'all big and bad. You know what I mean? You all about how America is the greatest. First of all, none of y'all ain't been nowhere. Let's talk about that. How can America be the best and you've never left?
Right,
but
right.
A lot of places around the world are like, this is basic shit.
Right.
He's also talking about raising the minimum wage to $30, taxing corporations and the 1%. I mean, now if we're going to keep it buck, that's why they don't like him.
Well, and let's talk about that 1% though. If you let's just do the math.
Yes.
Which I'm not good at. But if you make a $200 million as a corporation, which I know that's lowballing for New York, a big New York City corporation. 1% is what, $20,000, $200,000. Is that 10%?
Yes,
that's 10%.
The point
it's
is,
so minuscule.
They're not going to feel it.
Right.
They're not going
What
to
is the
feel
problem? It is so crazy to me.
Yeah, and the people who have that money, to your point about not feeling it, you can't even spend all of it. There are people who have 5 and 6 houses. You can't be in 5 and 6 houses at one time.
Talk about it. And I also want to mention this socialist thing, right? Because there's always attack on, so I'm a capitalist. Give me the money. I believe in capitalism. But I also believe that like socialism already exists and we don't talk about it enough. Right.
Thank you for saying that, because it's like you hate socialism until you call 911.
Thank you.
And the fucking fire truck shows up.
Thank you. Right.
Hello?
Or the roads that you drive on, that you drive your Mack trucks on across this country for your business. That's socialism, right?
Yes.
The weather service, I know that's now fucked up in this administration.
And
we're
going to talk about that. Yeah.
But God bless. But like, that's also socialism, right? There are social services that we all benefit from. And we're just saying, we just want to distribute it a little bit more evenly. Keep your 3 houses, keep your 7 cars. We just want you to, like, take one less vacation. I don't know.
Well, and the thing that pisses me off about this, and you kind of touched on it, unfortunately, it's coming from both sides of the aisle. But when I specifically think about conservatives who, go on and on about Jesus and the Bible and the blah, 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 it's like, have you read the good book? Because, I'm not great when it comes to like, quoting scripture, but I shared something about, this idea of when I was hungry, you fed me. When I didn't have a place to go, you gave me a place to sleep. When I was sick, you took care of me. When I was in jail, you visited me. Like, it says in the Bible, you are supposed to be helping people.
Right.
And when you dare to suggest that the people at the top could stand to pay a little higher taxes, to give back, to help, the lowest of us, people lose their fucking shit. Well, I'm not gonna. What happened to, you know what I mean, do unto others? Isn't that what isn't that what Sky Daddy said?
Okay, reach down and pull somebody up. You know what I mean? It's really nuts to me, and I do think, fortunately, the Trump of it all, all Project 2025, all the shit that's being torn apart is going to give birth to more Mamdanis. I hope anyway. There's a woman who run for something, which I know you've been associated with. I forget this woman's name, but she said since Mamdani won the Democratic primary, people are applying for for something in droves. Young people are coming out being like, sign me up. So like,
we've talked about this on the pod a number of times. Class, if you've ever thought about running for office, it doesn't matter if you're thinking about dog catcher or school board. There are so many different positions available. And, you know, this is one thing that the conservatives, they really have a leg up on us because they will run for everything.
Qualified enough. Marjorie Taylor Greene, lest I say more. I mean, jeepers creepers.
Literally, it's an incredible organization that helps first-time liberal candidates, and they help you raise money. They do all this great stuff. But I do want to pivot for 1 second before we move on to the next topic. Delon, did you see the New York Times ran this hit piece about Mamdani based on a fucking some like racist dude who's like believes in race science, released his application to Columbia, where Mamdani had, when it came time to check off his race, checked off Asian and African American, and he wrote a little note next to African American, I was born in Uganda. And they are trying to use this to say that he's pretending he's black. And it's just
fucking with these people. I cannot with these people.
It's just, and here's the thing, there is a conversation to be had because there are people on, you know, like people who identify as Democrat or liberal or leftist who are really mad that he did this. Okay. And I feel like
he checked the box.
I think you can have whatever feelings you want about it, but it's ultimately it's like, do you see that we are getting tied up in some bullshit here? Because like at the end of the day, this means fucking nothing. This means nothing. I genuinely believe that he was trying to you know, identify as someone who was born in Africa, right? And that is, unfortunately, when it comes to checking these boxes, they don't always account for like the complexities of our identities. I don't think he's not black, and I don't think that's what he was saying. But like the New York Times wrote this whole thing on it, and Delon, the girls are fighting about this.
You know what? I'm so, God, these institutions that I believed in so hard are really failing. The New York Times being one of them. I'm really starting to not trust them. I'm really starting to not trust the Democratic establishment. Like I thought I was really in on them. I was really with them. But all this shit around Mamdani's made me go, oh, I might be in a third party somewhere. Y'all have fucked up.
Listen, but we're gonna like the big beautiful bill happened, and y'all were spending all your fucking time.
What is it?
Talking
Strongly
about
worded
him?
emails.
Oh my God! Firing off tweets.
Y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy.
Meanwhile, we're up against Eric motherfucking Adams, an actual cartoon villain.
This is crazy. This is dystopian.
Yeah.
But but the thing about him checking that box, it's your point about the system that was created. So this is a man of Indian descent, right? Who was born in Africa, and then you've given him a limited number of boxes. So when he looked at it, he was like, well, what the fuck do I do? Because I am African in that I was born in Africa. I am also Indian because I'm of Indian descent. So he chose to try to make it make sense.
He was like, look, I'm just explaining this to y'all right over here.
It make sense. You are trying to put me in a box that I shouldn't be in any fucking way, right?
Yeah.
That's for your demographics.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything wrong. You're acting like he's lying. Now listen, Fran, if he had put just Indian, he'd be like, well, you know, he's born in Uganda. That's the hit piece.
Right.
And then if you know what I mean? It's asinine.
Yeah.
It's
and
asinine.
I think the reason people are upset, again, I'm trying so hard to put myself in other people's shoes, is they're bringing up, you know, Elizabeth Warren, for example, saying that she's Native American and using that as like, well, you got on her and trying to make this link between that maybe he was trying to be underhanded to get into Columbia. P.S. He didn't get in. So, whatever you think he was trying to do, he didn't get in.
He didn't even get into Columbia, and y'all are still mad about the idea that you went and searched for this shit anyway is crazy to me too.
It just feels like a supreme Olympic level reach. You know what I mean? And again, it also speaks to the fact that, to your earlier point, you can't get him on the issues. You can't get him on the issues. You have to get him on this thing that he did when he was 17 years old. And that's not to say that you can't have any feelings that you want about it, but like, let's zoom out for a second.
Right.
If this is what disqualifies him in your book, you never wanted to vote for him in the first place. Exactly.
Well, and you're trying to find something in his character that is impeachable.
Right.
And there isn't anything, especially when it comes to the issues, right?
Yeah, absolutely not.
One of the things I want to pivot to really quick, news related, because democracy related. So, and it's Mamdani adjacent. So Mamdani wins. Girl, get your stage together, Fran. Get your stage together. So Mamdani wins the Democratic, a primary in New York, and immediately the city of Miami cancels the planned elections in November. So the
how can you do that?
You cannot. The whatever it is, the law, the charter of the city of Miami says that the elections have to happen on odd years. Mm-hmm. So it's 2025. It's supposed to happen, but they said, I forget what their rationale was, but they're switching it to even years. Why? What the fuck? If that's not a subversive way to, I don't know, fucking subvert our democracy. Yeah, there's another word. There's another word I have. If that's not subverting our democracy, I don't know what is, and I don't know why people are not up in arms about this. Like, it's crazy.
It's so sketchy, and it really is. I don't know that it's not that people aren't up in arms about it, but like every fucking day something happens. And it feels like the news cycle is moving so fast, and that they're taking advantage of that. Do you know what I mean? Where they're like, well,
that's Trump's
we'll do this thing, and people can get mad, but you might not hear about it because it's going to be in the news for 2 seconds, and then we're all just going to move on.
Yeah.
And the thing that I think about is when things like this happen, I'm just like, what are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? Because like, the protest happened for, the No Kings protest. And it was incredible to see all these people out there, and like this was symbolic, and, the drone shots of like hundreds of thousands of people. It was incredible. And then it was like, now what happens now? What happens? And that's not to discredit people participating, but it's not hard to surmise why so many people are like, I'm not doing shit. What is the point? Like, we can march about this, but like we need, and to your earlier point about the Democratic Party, like we need people to be like, abso-fucking-lutely not. Like, we put you in charge, do something. If y'all text me one motherfucking time.
Oh, girl. John Ossoff. Listen, John Ossoff is a senator from Georgia who's running against Martin Luther Green. I haven't seen when Biden won the first. He and who's the other senator from Georgia?
I don't know.
A black guy with glasses. God, it'll come to me.
Tell us in the comments, class. We don't know.
He was running. He won. I ain't hear from this man for 6 solid years. And all of a sudden, he needs money. He's all over my Instagram. I said, what are you been doing? Get out of here. But
it's
the thing
so
about this, extending the mayoral race or whatever in Miami is, it's like, it's so disheartening. And I do think that the marches, to your point, the marching has to be the antidote, right? The marching has to be the thing we put our hopes on, right? And I know it's like big fucking thing. No kings. We all marched. And now what? Now we continue to call our senators. Now we continue to march. Like, the march is momentum, right? There's nothing we can do immediately to change anything. But I tell you what, those midterms are coming up next year. Those midterms are coming up next year. Okay.
Mark your calendars, class. Make sure you are ready. Tell a friend. There's also an app called, I think it's called 8 Calls. Do you have this app, Dawn?
No.
It's an app that you use to call senators, and you can say what your issues are that you're interested in and where you live, and it'll give you the phone numbers, and you can call them right from the app.
8, like is in the number 8?
let me do a Google. I think it's called 8 Calls app.
That's cute. That is real cute.
Yeah.
Because I don't live in New York anymore, but I got some heat for Kristen
Look.
Gillibrand. I got some
Oh.
heat for her Islamophobic sense.
Oh yeah. I mean, let me see. Is this what it's
Class.
called?
Kristen Gillibrand said some homophobic, excuse me, it's Freudian, Islamophobic stuff about Mamdani and had to walk the comments back, calling him jihadist. I'm like, y'all are crazy.
Oh, it's called 5 Calls. It's called 5 Calls. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That one, it has been just really wild seeing the things that people have been saying about him. And even I posted something on my Facebook and I had some people putting all kinds of words in my mouth and saying, well, he said this and he said this. And it's like, no, he did not. Find the tape. Find me the tape and I'll entertain it. But to come up with all of these lies and again, to tie it all together in the midst of actual legislation being passed that is killing people.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like, you know what somebody said, DeLon, that really fucking cracked my brain open when it came to this big, beautiful bill? That we had 2 senators who were executed ahead of the vote for that fucking bill.
Wait,
do you know that the lady who was killed with her husband and the dog?
Oh my God, the Minnesota
in
Senate,
Minnesota.
Yeah.
So it kind of feels quite eerie, not to get all conspiratorial, but that happened and then it was out of the news in 2 seconds.
Right.
Then y'all vote for this bill and it's like, if we had those votes, maybe we would be in a different predicament. You know what I'm saying?
Those were state senators though.
Oh,
they were
okay,
state senators.
okay.
We're talking, this was like the federal. But your point still stands in that, like, it being eclipsed, like they were cold-blooded murdered. One of them still in, there were 4 people that were shot.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is still in critical condition.
And Trump didn't go to the funerals?
Didn't say a thing.
Like,
isn't that crazy? Isn't that?
Insane.
Where's the moral center? It's gone. We have.
Yeah.
This is a little bit of Schadenfreude. Alaska's tariff problem. So, you
put this on the list, and I don't know about this.
Let me just give you a geographic lesson, right? So it's crazy to me that on the map of the United States, we have usually like Alaska's floating on the left and Hawaii's floating on the left. That's like the 49th and 50th state, whatever. And I always like looked at that and was like, oh, Alaska and Hawaii, but I did not know until I saw a full map of the United States,
like where they actually are.
That Alaska is attached to Canada. It is. It should be part of Canada, right?
Yeah.
I forget how it was sold to the United States. Anyway, so to get things to Alaska, you either have to go by Mack truck through Canada, or you have to fly things, or by sea, right? So Canada put on these huge tolls for international goods, right? So you're going to do all this tariff. So now Alaska has to deal with high tariffs, high tolls on their trucks going.
And shit was already expensive to get in Alaska.
Isn't that crazy?
In Alaska are like, it is hard out here. It's daylight all goddamn day.
That part.
The sun is shining 12 hours a day.
The sun will come out tomorrow. The sun has been out, bitch. Okay.
And sunglasses are going to cost me $300 fucking dollars.
Wow. A little bit of Schadenfreude. That's what you get when you vote for Trump, y'all. That's what you get.
I mean, listen, unfortunately, the fuck around and find out. We all finding out.
I know.
We all finding out, regardless of if we fucked around or not. And, listen, we'll wrap up our news segment by saying our hearts go out to those of y'all in Texas.
Oh, goodness
But
me.
it is truly infuriating to see that y'all were okay with getting rid of the cutting funds to the National Weather Service, and they were not able to notify people in time of this flash flood.
Crazy.
And all these children have died. There are consequences, and I'm just so fearful that people are not making the connection.
Yes, right.
They're not making the connection.
Right. And it's one thing to say, oh, we need to, government costs too much, right? I completely, I'll even go with that argument. There need to be some cuts to government, sure. But that is a service that is imperative. Like when you're talking about this many lives being lost,
Yeah.
this many children being lost. I mean, there's no other way for us to understand that. There's no other way for us to get that information other than the weather service, right?
I know.
So like, yeah, I'm heartbroken to see these numbers. I'm heartbroken to see that little girls camp, the Mystic camp for girls, the Christian camp. Like that's heartbreaking. They found a lot of them, the 20 some odd that were lost, and 16 of them have passed. Like it's just heartbreaking. Sending you so much love to y'all in Texas.
Yeah, like listen, we got to give that money back to the National Weather Service. We all listen. Weather is not is a bipartisan issue. We all got to deal with the shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh my God. Let's move into this personal round robin. Delon, tell us about this cruise, USC. He's a seaman who likes seamen.
Ooh, these knees is dirty. This knees is so dirty. Listen, so a really good friend of mine that I toured with before, we toured with Jersey Boys. She is currently working, performing on a Disney cruise. And she was like, I broke up with a boy, and she was like, why don't you come on the cruise? And I was like, yeah, that's a salve. So I went and stayed in her room with her. It was a 4-day cruise, just to like the Bahamas and from Orlando. Man, listen, you've been on a cruise before, so I also want you'll give me your take on a cruise.
Yes.
It's so crazy because people talk about it being like a floating hotel, and I get that, but it's like its own ecosystem. It's like a big city, especially because I was not only on the guest side, I also went in the bellows of the ship. I saw like the cruise mess, I saw the officers' mess hall, I saw the crew bar, I saw like
it's like a different world.
So both parts, right?
Yeah.
So that was really cool. Like I also talked about this when I've talked about roller coasters or amusement parks on the pod. I went to Orlando a few years ago, class, if you don't remember, and I like flipped out with like the joy, the awe and wonder I felt at Universal Studios in Disneyland, partially because I love a thrill ride, because I feel like I might die and then I don't. Now I know I could. But the awe and wonder just like eclipsed so much of my cynicism and jadedness.
Yeah.
Like when Mickey and there's pictures of me talking to Mickey and Minnie, they came up to me and I was like, oh my God, I turned into like this little boy. Also seeing the little kids with the animals, with the cartoon figures is beautiful. The food was fine. I mean, it was, you know what? We went to a couple really great restaurants and the food was banging. So like, it's not all inclusive. You can't, there's food all the time that's included, but then you have to pay to go to the upscale restaurants. They had fireworks 2 nights in a row because it's 4th of July.
Oh, right. Oh, yes.
And the fireworks are fish food. Is that
now
look at science?
The circle of life. Wow, that's really cool.
Isn't that cool? So that it's not like doing any
harm
damage
to the planet.
to the sea ecosystem. Yeah, it's beautiful. My friend's a stupid talent. The shows were unbelievable. On the ship they had like trap doors and people flying, and it was really, really well done. Would I go on a cruise again is the question. And what would I fix on the cruise? Ready?
Oh, okay.
Okay. Would I go on a cruise again? I would, but I think I need to go on an adult's cruise. Like there were adult sections.
Disney is kids.
I can't stand your offspring, y'all.
Oh yeah.
I cannot stand your offspring.
Yeah. And a Disney cruise literally is their playground. Like if there's going to be a place where they can rip and run and scream, there was a ton of screaming.
Oh my God. Oh my God. So much screaming.
Oh.
And also it's an opportunity for the parents to let them scream.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And they don't and here's the thing, they don't hear it anymore.
That's what I said. I was like, oh, you're desensitized to it.
They are reading a book. They're just whatever.
Just answering in a low monotone voice. But what would I fix? I do really want more adult. I couldn't even be on an adult cruise, but I want more adult sections.
Okay.
I got a little seasick.
So did you take a pill?
I didn't. They have something called Sea Calm that I took.
Yeah.
But a lot of people have patches behind their ears, like those little things. So if I were to go, when I go back, I would get some of those patches or some Dramamine. But I don't think there's non-drowsy Dramamine. I think it's all like slightly
Yeah,
non-drowsy.
I don't, on a cruise, I mean, I've only done a cruise no, I've done a cruise twice. I didn't get seasick. For me, I think because it's so big,
Right.
the moving didn't bother me as much as when we were in Spain and ooh,
Everybody was sick on that.
I was in a bad way. But I'm gonna pivot from you saying that you want more adult cruises because Carnival Cruise, which is a place that has catered to adults, specifically the niggas, they said we're tired of y'all. They said it stops here.
It stops with the what is it called? The fan.
It stops. Okay, now here we go. Some of these things feel reasonable. Okay,
Yes.
They said no Bluetooth speakers was one.
Yes.
That feels annoying, but also I'm sure people are getting out of hand.
There are thousands of rooms, everyone's playing their own music. No.
And we're out on the deck and everybody has a Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah,
annoying. No. Okay, there are curfews for teens after 1 a.m. After 1 a.m., you need to be with an adult. I think that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Get your children.
And it's not safe, whatever.
Yes.
But then we get to these coded ones. They said no hip hop music will be played on the boat. No hip hop.
Now, have you seen these videos of these Carnival cruises? Because I went on a deep dive on TikTok.
Oh yeah, listen, we be in there. But I will also say, for the hip hop of it all, I've seen many videos from Carnival where they do like a dance competition, and there's always some white man in his 50s who works in a bank, and he is always fucking bent over, and every black person is like, okay, David, okay, like everyone's like going crazy, and he's always really good. So hip hop is for us, by us, but all of y'all enjoy it. Okay, don't get it twisted.
Right.
But it does feel very coded. But as you kind of hinted at, they also banned the fans, non-battery operated fans, best known from the boots on the ground dance.
Boots on the ground dance. It just blew up.
Oh yeah, where them fans at? Where them fans at? They said no more of those fans.
Well, let's talk about why no more of the fans, right? Because the videos I've seen of the boots on the ground,
yes,
everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing that. Everybody loves the line dance.
And we love a line dance.
Yes.
And the fans are loud. The
fans are loud. And I can understand too, like if you are on the ship and you hear 1,000 fans going, that's probably annoying, but I also see it being a hazard, right?
Yeah.
If that hard ass fan is coming down and someone's walking by
and
hits a
people
drink,
are drunk,
right?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
They also said the wobble dance has been banned.
The wobble? Are you serious?
They said no more wobbling.
That feels racist. That feels racist. I'm hip hop. Take it away.
No.
Boots on the ground fans. The wobble. That's
the hip. Delon said, "Where's the petition? I will sign." I mean, it's hard because you're correct. I can see both sides in the sense that like you give people an inch, they take a mile.
Sure.
And when I went on a cruise, and I've been on a cruise twice, once with my ex-husband and once with my mom and my family, I did have the feeling that a lot of people on the cruise had never been anywhere.
Yes.
This was the first time y'all been out the house.
Right.
And I will also say, in these post-pandemic era, quote, because COVID is still here, it seems like a lot of people don't know how to act.
Right.
A lot of people are just screaming, they're drunk, they're being loud, and it's not just Black people, it's everybody. But I think what is frustrating to me and many others is that these rules feel very Black.
Well, and I think let's be completely honest, they are very Black.
Yeah.
Like, hip hop, if nothing else, right? Like absolutely.
The fan thing. Okay, yes, maybe the fans are a hazard. They don't have to say fan. They could just say no accessories that could be. You know what I mean? Like they could do a little infographic of like.
Right.
the fan thing, the I don't know what else people could be bringing, but like just kind of make a little list of things so it's not just one item.
Right.
You know, it's I think the idea to your point about like having things that you're waving around and that are
Totally.
making noise, like it could just be like no noise makers, and that could fall in the category of a noisemaker, and then also cover a bunch of other things too.
Yeah, I hear you. I also like the idea, the banning of the dance is, it feels like because it is popular and it's popular with Black people, it's
Mm-hmm.
something that white people don't have access to or are not as
Right.
interested in. And so the people on the
Right.
cruise are like, that's annoying me. Why
Mm-hmm.
is that
Mm-hmm.
annoying you? Why not join in? You know,
Yes.
it's
Well,
really weird. That's very
and
weird.
the underlying thing of like what is annoying you is Black joy.
Talk
Black
about it, Fran. Black people having fucking fun, and you're not a
Black
part of it.
people having fun. Y'all are the hall monitors of the world. Calm the overseer in your spirit. Because no matter where you go, there's always a white person that's like, are you supposed to be here? What are
Oh
y'all
my
doing?
god! I saw this TikTok where this woman was at a pool, and the quote said, "Listen, you'll never be alone where there's a white
Oh,
woman around," and
oh,
like the white woman behind her are staring at her. It is so
it's
funny.
a very popular TikTok audio where it says when you're Black, you're never really alone because there's always a white person in your business. And it's always, you know, some Black girl in the bathroom filming herself at, you know, doing her makeup and doing a little pose. And there's always somebody in the background like, well, what are you doing? Like it is just constant. And it just feels like these things are not even a microaggression at this point. I really think that Carnival is going to regret being so overt with these rules because a lot of people have been like, "Bet, okay, we're gonna go somewhere else."
Well, listen, and absolutely, this is a good segue to the target of it all, the essence fest of it
Oh,
all.
yeah,
But because we are still currently in a Target boycott, which is
yes,
this is not me quoting, this is me misquoting somebody else, but it is one of the most successful boycotts since the civil rights movement. Right, Black
mm-hmm,
people and those who are allies are not going to Target, right?
yeah,
Because of their defunding, the DEI
DEI, mm-hmm,
program, right? Um, but we will not go. We will not. We have money. We will not and there are a lot of cruise lines.
yeah,
Turns out
yeah,
there are a lot. There's Celebrity. There's
mm-hmm,
Norwegian. There's Royal
mm-hmm,
Caribbean. There
mm-hmm,
are
mm-hmm.
a lot of. We can spend
And
our
if
money
anybody would
elsewhere.
like to send me and Delon somewhere,
Come on now. Come
I
on.
mean,
We
listen,
love a vacation, and we will
and, you
talk
know,
about it
and
on the
I'm going to
pod.
put it out into the universe, Delon. There have been like these influencer trips where they take their fans. I mean, I could see us saying, hey, class, we going to be on the boat on this date. Be there or be square. Do what you got to do. We might
Bring
see
your
you on the
boots and your
boat.
fan.
I would be petty and just bring a little fan. No clack.
But you know what? With the boots, I hope that people start doing it to another song, doing the dance to another
Mm,
song, and then just
mm.
clapping.
I
Like we
mean,
are going to do it anyway.
yeah, I mean, that's
Um,
what one thing Black people do. We will adapt.
Absolutely. Well, so let's talk about this. I had this other thing about dating, but I wanted to switch to Essence Fest because you
Yeah.
have presented at Essence Fest. So
Yes, I have.
like indoctrinate us for those who don't know. Tell us what
Yes.
Essence Fest is, Fran.
So Essence magazine is a Black woman magazine. It is a staple in every Black hair salon, in every Black home. I mean, the magazine is a cultural icon, and they have this festival. It's been going on for a long time. I don't know how many years now in New Orleans. I think I've gone twice, and I've been on a panel there as a content creator. And it's a huge institution.
Yeah.
There's always a concert portion. There's so many different musicians who come. It does kind of have, oh, and there's like a convention center where there's lots of small businesses, Black businesses, hair care
Cute.
brands, and it's huge. And people are dressed up. And I will also say the demographic of Essence and Essence Fest in particular is an older demo. It's like
Okay.
the auntie generation, which
She's in
I
her
am now
era.
part of.
She's in her era.
I'm now in the auntie generation. When I first went and I was like, 29, you could feel the difference because there are
Yeah.
women that are in their 50s and 60s, and it kind of has like family reunion vibes, you know? It's just a different generation. You're in New Orleans, you're eating great food, people are drinking. It's fun, it's very very vibrant.
Yeah.
The mood is different this year, and I think one being that economically people are fucking struggling. You know what I mean? New Orleans is expensive. It's expensive to fly there, get a hotel. Everything is upsold. You just spend so much money on food and go to the convention center and take a car. Da, 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 da.
And you need tickets to it, right?
I think the convention center is free, but then there's a
Okay.
bunch of like little things around. Like you can get VIP passes, which mean you don't have to stand in line for certain things.
Okay.
You do have to get tickets if you're going to go to the shows. And then there's like little activations and different brands and stuff that do pop-ups and things like that.
Okay.
But it's not cheap, you know? And I saw a lot of people saying I couldn't do Essence Fest and Beyonce. I did Beyonce.
Girl, right. I'm gonna get my music fix.
But they have new leadership, and that is what people are suspecting has made the biggest change, because to your point about the Target of it all, Target is one of the sponsors this
Give them
year.
like $300,000. Yeah.
I mean, these conventions are not cheap. They gave them all this money. A lot of people were unhappy about that. And when it comes to the Lauryn Hill of it all, they had a lot of people performing like Maxwell and Glorilla, and you know, a lot of people performed that people were excited about. But it started late. They were running like 2 hours behind.
So black.
And then they put Lauryn at the end.
Well, and they should have put her at the end. Let's be honest. Listen, well, you said it's not her fault, but I have to say, when you have a reputation, lady, they're putting you on last. Yeah.
Why did they do? I mean, yes, that was poor planning. Again, y'all should have live streamed her in from her hotel or something.
Dad.
I mean, so she ended up going on after midnight, and she closed Essence Fest at 3:37 a.m. DeLon, are you staying till?
Girl,
are you staying till 4 o'clock in the morning?
If it's a circuit party, yeah, where I'm dancing. But if I'm waiting,
if there are party favors involved,
if there are party favors,
where that bed at? I'm going to sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shoot, I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. I also would just be annoyed that you're making me wait that long. You know what I mean?
No. And again, it's one of those things. You're right. Like, Lauryn has a reputation, and for that reason, they shouldn't have put her at that hour. But it does also feel like a setup. Y'all put me last, and y'all were running behind.
Right.
And it's just poor planning on the organizers' fault. And it makes me wonder, like, what they couldn't have said, like, let's do you tomorrow. Like, I don't know, maybe it wouldn't have been possible.
We're gonna bump you. We're gonna bump you. You know what? They did bump her tomorrow. It was 3:30 in the morning.
I mean, yes, they did. Tomorrow. Yeah.
They did bump her booty. I mean, I will say it was everybody's fault. It was everybody's fault. Wait, why am I blanking on this woman's name? Hate on me, hater. Now or later.
Oh, Jill Scott.
Jill Scott. So Jill Scott performed at Essence Fest. And I just want everybody to find this little clip, because she rewrote the lyrics to the national anthem.
Oh.
And it's so painful. It's so black focused. It is like, go to TikTok, go to YouTube, find this clip of her, because it's so fucking moving. It's so beautiful. Just want to say that.
Listen, Jill Scott is incredible.
Yeah.
And truly, I feel like doesn't get like the flowers that she deserves. Because not only is she a great singer, she's also an actress.
She's a stupid actress. She's so good.
She's a great actress. Shout out to First Wives Club with my girl, Michelle Buteau.
How yeah.
And Jill Scott. I mean, she's very talented. Let's like manifest more film and TV for Jill, and musical stuff. You know what I mean? Put her. Why hasn't she been in a music? Where is Jill Scott's Wicked?
You know what? There's this musical, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, that I would love to see her.
Oh wait, but didn't they do that with Viola Davis on HBO?
They did do that with Viola Davis. Damn.
Yeah, I feel like it didn't. I feel like that one didn't get a lot of shine.
It didn't. Is that what was that? Chadwick Boseman was in that too, right?
I think he was. I think he was. I didn't see it. I do think she got some award nominations. But again, the fact that it's hard for me to even like pull
I
it,
know.
I think it didn't go where it should have. But let's also pivot. This is a little old news, but I just need to hear your thoughts on this, Delon. Amerie versus One Thing.
That is so funny. That is so funny. Because
they were boxing. And Amerie was losing.
Amerie lost. She lost the battle.
And it breaks my heart because we love this song.
Oh my God. This is one of my favorite songs.
Yes.
I was in London for the first time. I went to a gay nightclub and Amerie was the pop-up artist and I lost my fucking mind.
And how was she?
Tore it down. But this was
now
also,
wait a second. What state of mind were you in?
It was
what state of mind?
I know. I mean, fair. Okay. I mean, there are a couple drinks in, but it was closer to One Thing than she is now.
Oh,
right? It's closer to the debut of One Thing. So this was like not even like maybe 2012, 2013.
Yes.
But class, if you don't know what we're talking about, Amerie did a Tiny Desk concert of her first and only album. And she did several of her singles, and One Thing was a huge hit of hers.
Yeah.
But in this Tiny Desk performance, she was just struggling. At one point, she just goes around dancing and lets her backup singers.
She was like, let me just dance for my life. And man, the edits of this were so funny. First of all, Black people are so fucking funny. We will clown you. The edits had me dying because the band members were looking at each other like they were looking at each other like, do you hear what? Do you hear what?
I'm gonna stay on this 2 and 4, yo. I'm gonna just stay on this 2 and 4 and just keep going.
Oh my God!
I will say this to her credit: there were a lot of fucking instruments behind her, but that still don't mean she was hitting them notes. Right?
Yes. Well, okay. There were a few things, and I think this is a great place to go back to our Fix It roots. The song is high. Even if you are, and there was a conversation about this online, so please forgive me for rehashing this, class. But even if you are like at the top of your vocal proficiency, that song is difficult. And a lot of girls were on TikTok showing, well, I can do it. And they were all going, okay, wait a second. This is actually really hard. Yeah. So, Amerie's been out of the game for a minute. Honestly, I don't know why they did this Tiny Desk with her. It feels like the timing was really weird. Like, I know they were doing like
it just came out of nowhere.
A Black Music History Month or whatever. But Amerie, again, no shade. You ain't been on the charts in a minute. So like, why?
Didn't she perform at the BET Awards too or something?
She did. And I'm sure that was track.
It was a track.
Still not. I think she sang a little bit live, but it wasn't great. And I just feel like, first and foremost, they could have taken it down. Easy. Tiny Desk is a place for you to give us a new rendition of something. Yes. And even though we love the original, a slowed down, again, not as fast, not as high, would have, I think, done her some good. Because there were parts where she was, having us sing. And it's like, Mama, no, this is the time for you.
Whenever they listen, even Beyonce does this, giving y'all the mic. But that bitch is dancing and giving you like concert. So she's on Love on Top. She's making y'all sing the last three.
Which again, Beyonce, changes. Don't ask us to sing those. We can't do those key changes. Beyonce.
But listen, you've been to the concert, girl. Yes. We're singing every word.
Oh, yes, so yes.
Thousands of people singing back there.
But at some point, I'm like, we need to stop.
Everyone's off key.
Everyone is hurting themselves. This is not healthy. No, Amerie is, oh my God.
But I agree with you. If we took it down a step, if we slowed it down, if we did like the jazzy version of it. And also, but give us what we want, right? Make it slow, make it jazzy, and then just like speed it up. And then speed it up and like on the on the latter half of it or something.
Yeah, and it really feels like Amerie has been trying to redeem herself post this performance. She has been performing everywhere,
Does she? Oh.
and she has kept doing this song, and it's just.
It's giving
Ameriie,
J-Lo.
Take your own advice. It's time to let it go. I think you had a moment. The song still will hold a special place in my heart, but this was tough.
Yeah, let the one thing go, girl. Let the one thing go. Let's hop over to our gossip corner because you are more in tune to this. I mean, Fran, let me just say this. I know we all say Delon is not. We always say Delon is not really online. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
TikTok has become my TV in the last month. I don't. It is like
good.
An addiction.
When it's good, it's good. When it's good, it's good.
The swipe of it all, the gamification of it. You can't.
And is the for you getting you, Delon? Do you ever get content where you're like, was this video made for me?
You know what's crazy and shit you don't know that you're interested in. Why am I watching these men carve cow hooves?
I have watched those hoof videos, and they're nasty.
The pus coming out of the hood.
There's water inside there, and they're like, "Man, you get in here." I'm like, "Get in there."
What is it? It's like the pimple of it all, or something.
Oh,
I will sit and watch those for. I'm so glad. I thought I was like, everyone's gonna think I'm fucking crazy. For this.
No. I definitely
go in on a hoof carving.
Oh, sometimes they'll get one. I'm like, "Oh, this is gonna be a good one."
And then sometimes it's just normal. I'm like, no, I want some juice. I want some juice about that motherfucker. So wait, what is this rumored TikTok thing?
And
American TikTok.
Heavy on the rumor because it's gotten picked up all over the place. I put a link in the doc from Reuters, but they're all quoting the same like unknown sources. So who knows?
Right.
But the rumor is that there's going to be a new American-only TikTok that will launch in September. And the TikTok that we all know and love, the melting pot that includes, hooves and people twerking and people eating in their cars and all types of weird shit, is going to be phased out March 2026. And I just, I don't like the idea of an American-only TikTok.
I don't either.
I feel like that is just begging for, interference from our government, censorship. And honestly, one of the things I love about TikTok is I love just randomly stumbling on people from other parts of the world and seeing what their lives are like, or just hearing their perspectives. I mean, it's just truly so eye-opening. And I also conspiratorially feel like the fact that so many people are being radicalized by the information they come across on TikTok is why they want to get rid of it in the first place.
That's why they wanted to ban it. That's why they wanted to ban it, right? Because, and I'm going to say the quiet part out loud, it's because all of the, I believe, all of the bad press Israel has been getting with what's been going on in Gaza.
You can't pull the wool over our eyes if we can see the shit happening right there on the clock app.
That part.
Yeah, it's so true. And I put a bunch of stuff on here. So, and I know we can, look, Delon, the first time doing this new format, it's really fucking working for us.
Flowing. I mean, we've been on here for 54 minutes, ain't stopped once.
I mean, listen, let's just talk about Love Island for 2 seconds, and then can we wrap? You cool with that?
I do want to talk about this Brad Pitt thing because
let's touch on Love Island for 2 seconds, and then let's talk about Mr. Pitt.
Great. Wait, you have watched Love Island, though, right?
I have not.
You have not? What's the one you watched, girl? You watched one of them.
Why
Love is Blind?
You seem so pained. Are you okay?
I'm just trying to find it in the timeline. Wait, didn't you watch one?
I watched Love is Blind at the beginning of the pandemic. Okay, Delon?
I'm steady trying to make you a reality watcher.
Delon loves me like, I don't watch these shows. I don't know where this rumor started, okay? I watched one season of Love is Blind when I was literally trapped inside of the house.
She was like, there's nothing else to watch, and I watched
nothing else to watch, and it felt kind of like, oh my God, timely, they're all in little pods. We're all in little pods, whatever. But now we've got Love Island. Delon, I can't tell you what this fucking show is about. Everybody is hot. They're
in relationships, trying to find love with other people, but they're in a relationship.
Delon, did you know the show is on 4 nights a week?
On prime time?
It is on. You can watch it on Peacock 4 nights a week.
Wow.
It's live. And this is why, I mean, honestly, it's genius in the marketing sense. Because again, so much is streaming right now. We don't really have any live TV events.
Right.
And this is obviously showing like that people miss it. People are talking. I see people online talking, and I think they're talking about their friends. I'm like, oh no, you're talking about Love Island. They're like, this is how I feel about so-and-so. And the reason she blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, everybody, and like not to poo-poo on it. It's just, it's interesting. I don't think I've seen a cultural phenomenon like this in, honestly, since Insecure. I don't think I've seen everybody talking about one thing.
I'm going to poo-poo on it. I'm absolutely going to poo-poo on it because the world is literally on fire.
Yes. But that's
LA
what people are,
is
but that's why people are
LA
watching
is
it.
about to start their fire season,
Girl.
right? Y'all are about to have another fire season.
I can't, I know.
After you had all of that crazy shit happen earlier this year. And I understand people need escapism.
Yes.
But like now is not the time to turn away. Now is not the time to be talking to your AI girlfriend. Ready? Like, no.
I don't even want to start.
We have to be paying attention.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, do what you need to do. I'm not watching a Love Island probably, but
Yeah.
I just like, why are you all, people love being in everybody else's business.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of do too, but damn.
The other thing about it is, Delon, it's not just that everybody's watching it. I feel like people are getting a commission by getting other people to sign up. I can't tell you how many people I know that have been like, are you watching? You got to watch. I'm like, what is going on? This is a Wendy's. Like, what is happening here? I'm not joking. So many. Class, tell us in the comments, are you watching Love Island? And what is it about it? Again,
Tell
no
us,
judgment
what
here.
is it?
What is it that people love about this show? Because people are hot on all of the shows, but it does seem like this is a show that is just about being sexy and hooking up.
Is this the being where she was like, I'm a mommy? Is that from
Yes. Yes, that's from this show.
He's like, like a mommy of what? What did he say?
A dog? And she's like, no, a mommy.
Like
he
a
was
mommy.
Like, a mamacita? And she was like, no, I'm a mother.
Stupid.
Listen, there are lots of memes, lots of memeable moments. I mean
maybe I should watch. I'm probably not going to. You know what I'm gonna watch? I'm gonna watch Inside Out tonight. That's what I'm doing. I'm Disney-fied.
Well, let me tell you, I have a number of people who I really respect who were like, you got to watch Love Island. Go 2 seasons back. I said, 2 seasons back? 4 episodes a week? That's like 300 episodes. It's like, oh yeah, they fly by. I'm like,
girl,
I have things to do.
My friend Marlena was doing her makeup for a show when we were on the cruise ship, and I like came in from getting some food, and she was like, "Oh, I'm watching Love Island." Like I caught her, and I was like, "Okay." She was like, "Oh, it's my trash TV." It's like, girl, you have to excuse it. Watch what you want to watch. I don't know what it is. They're all the same show.
A lot of people do that. They're like, I know it's terrible, but just, you got it. I'm like, okay, well, it's not my thing. Again, I'm here for people enjoying. And I think it's possible to stay tapped in and also give yourself a little bit of junk food and watch some trash TV. I just feel surprised by how it seems like it came out of nowhere. And now all of a sudden, everyone I know is talking about it. And I do feel a little, I don't know. I'm probably not going to start watching it, but I keep being like, should I be watching this?
Got peer pressure. But it's also it's all the Real Housewives of it all, right? Like that whole era was like everyone was watching it, and I did not have those references. Even to this day, when you start talking about it, especially when it comes to Atlanta and Black folks, like that Real Housewives of Atlanta, they know these people. They know the situations. Some people can literally quote the things that were said at the reunion. I'm like, I don't even, girl,
a white refrigerator. Ooh, we in the ghetto. Like I know, I know a few of them.
Oh my God. So wait, the one reason I want to talk about this Brad Pitt, I'm glad you put this in here, because Brad Pitt is on his press tour for his new movie F1, which is a little bit like a redemption tour, because he, as you said, Fran, he is conveniently not talking about the Angelina of it all,
No,
not talking to
no.
his
I mean,
kids,
we knew he wasn't going to talk about it, but very conveniently, he's doing all these interviews, and they're all being like, "Brad is back. He's back," and it's like, where is he back from? Why did he go
right,
away?
right. Well, and the thing that they're talking about, he sat down with Dak Shepard, with Armchair
Mm-hmm.
Expert, whatever that podcast he has is
Yeah.
called. It's a really good podcast. I think it's called Armchair
Yeah.
Expert.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And Dax and Brad, I guess, are part of the same like celebrity AA group, men's
Yes.
AA group. So like they talked about that. I mean, he talked about his recovery and all those things.
Yes.
But what he didn't, to your point about Angelina and the kids, what he didn't talk about is the fact that those kids dropped his name.
Oh yeah.
What you didn't talk about is the fact that like he doesn't talk to them, like,
No.
and it's his business. He can say what he wants to say, but I think too often we like in the redemption of it all, we go, oh God, now he's so much better. But like those people that were affected by his addiction,
they
are
are
still
the ones that get to decide.
Yeah.
They get to decide if he's better.
Yeah, they're still dealing with the repercussions of that.
It's just so frustrating how there is this persistent narrative of how if you get accused of abuse, it ruins your life, cancel culture, it's not fair, blah, blah, blah. And time and again, whether it's Diddy, which we did not talk about today because I don't want to even get into it, but whether it's Diddy, whether it's R. Kelly, whether it's Chris Brown, whether it's Brad Pitt, we see time and again that you can abuse women and you can still have a fruitful career. And people will go on to blame the woman, even when we have video fucking evidence. And I think the Brad Pitt Angelina of it all is extra, should be eye-opening to people in the sense that even if you are Angelina fucking Jolie, a Nepo baby with lots of money, talent, beauty, an illustrious career, even
great reputation.
A great reputation, a humanitarian, you know what I mean? Like she has done incredible work. She had to fight tooth and nail to get out of that fucking marriage. And I think she filed for divorce. I think their incident on the plane where he fucking hit her and hit her children and poured alcohol on her. And it was not the first time he had gotten physical with her. That she filed for divorce in like 2017. Their divorce was not finalized till 2024.
Crazy. And there was some property, right?
Oh, I mean, there was so much money stuff tied up in there. But when people are so quick to be like, why didn't she leave? Why did blah, blah, blah? If this woman who has this much money and support had to fight that hard to get out of that relationship, think about how hard it is for normal people.
Right.
For people that don't have the safety net of finances and celebrity and, the ability to go off and buy a new home or, have childcare and all of those things. Cassie, we have video of somebody beating her. And then folks are like, why don't you leave when you don't have video evidence?
Right.
It's just, people use their brains.
Well, and I also, this is a TikToker speaking through me. I can't remember who said it, so forgive me. But she said, the other thing is, if Angelina was caught having an affair with her beloved actor, husband, if she had 6 kids that she left, right? If she had abused her husband, do you think she would have the career that Brad has? Sorry to make it about the misogyny of it all, but like let's think about it. Like if the roles were reversed, she would not be, talking about her F1 movie. No. I'm also still mad too because I don't remember the actress's name, but she was in Bridgerton. She was like a huge part in this film, and she was edited out completely.
Oh, yes. She's Indian. She's gorgeous.
Stunning.
And you know what? She said, bitch, I'm still coming to the red carpet. She showed up.
I'm not mad at her. Also, because I want you to know. I want you to know. That,
she said, you could have had this. You could have had this. Yeah, no, that was really fucked up. I mean, look, it happens all of the time.
Happened. I was soldier number 4. Delon's name in Surrogates, the movie with Bruce Willis. The name is up there.
Said, we're gonna just shift the camera right over like this, and we're gonna cut that number 4 right out. The name is
up there, but I still get the residuals. But look,
it
happens.
I was in the movie. It happens all of the time, as evidenced by your experience, but it happens to black and brown people all
Mm.
of the time.
Hmm.
It's really fucked up. And I'm just so annoyed that this like Brad Pitt rehabilitation tour is happening. I will not be seeing this movie.
Mm-mm.
It's not my genre anyway, but I'm also like solidly team Angelina.
Mm.
And so I wish her nothing but fucking strength and healing, because I can imagine it probably would be hard to see your fucking ex-husband who put his hands on you and his children all over, and everyone being like, "Oh my god, we love you. You're the best."
Thriving.
Yeah.
Thriving. Yeah.
So annoying. Class, we're back.
We
We're
back.
bigger. We're better than ever. What do you think of the new format? What do you want us to talk about in future episodes?
Yes, please.
Tell us in the comments, or you can hit us up over on Instagram at FixItPod, or you can email us. We love a listener letter.
We
love
do.
we love a fix. Email us, lemmefixitpod@gmail.com. Delon, do you want to do glow up? Do you want to skip glow up? How are you feeling?
Let's go do glow up really quick. We can do
Yes.
a quick glow up.
Okay, everyone's favorite segment, the glow up, where we give props to those who've turned themselves around without our help. I teased it in the opening. I fired my therapist. It was hard. I cried.
I know it was. Oh.
I cried. And I will, because we're going to keep it short and sweet. Delon, do you think it's appropriate for me to send her a gift? You know I love a gift.
You are so thoughtful. You are so generous. You are so thoughtful. The gift, Fran, was you gave her a lot of money. You gave her a lot of money.
I paid for the sabbatical, Shawnee.
Yes, you
enjoy it.
Did. You do not have. You send her a nice email, girl. You ain't gotta send her no basket.
Well, I wasn't gonna send a full. I was just gonna send a little something.
Listen, it is your nature, so if you want to do it, but I would send her on a basket.
I think what's hard for me, Delon, I tell you, it was like a punch to the gut when we said goodbye. I was like, bye.
It's a full breakup.
I'm never gonna talk to you again, and it was so weird because it's remote, and it was just like, bye.
I know. I broke up with mine, and same. It was just like, you know me intimately, and I'm just letting this relationship go. That's crazy.
Oh God, yeah. It's been 2 weeks, and it's so hard. And class, if you've been listening since the beginning, I've been trying to break up with this bitch forever. She was wonderful, but she was always on a trip. She was always,
especially when you were in crisis. when you were in like the depths of a blue moment,
this bitch was Carmen Sandiego. Where are you? How is the copay that good?
Okay.
She stayed on a plane. And most recently she was going out of town she was going on a 3-month sabbatical. And I was just like, I can't not have therapy for 3 months. I'm barely hanging on as is. So I am without therapist, but it's on the agenda. She's pulling some names from LA for me.
Cute.
And yeah, we're gonna figure it out.
Well, listen, take your time. First of all, I'm very proud of you. I know it's hard
you.
As someone who just went through this, not a little bit over a year ago. It's difficult, and getting a new therapist is also going to be difficult. But like I said to you off mic, like the one thing that I noticed about my new therapist is when the hardest part, it feels like, is just downloading everything for them, just like, or uploading, however you want to say it, like catching them up, giving them the dossier of who you are.
I'm about to do a PowerPoint slide.
I know you the fuck are. She said, and this is when I got caught shoplifting.
Yeah. And then the cop said, bet you didn't see that in your future. Slide. This is
But I also think, like, when you're able to like distill that down, I was so proud of myself. Like, the
cliff notes of your life.
Cliff notes, but also like I might have broken down prior to, but I was able to like speak about it objectively, despite it being very subjective things that I'm sharing, right?
Yeah.
Or very, very vulnerable things that I'm sharing. So I'm excited to see what that journey is for you. I know you might be without a therapist for a few weeks, and do what you need there, but it's gonna be good in the end.
Yeah, I in my little journal, I did a little reflection of all the things that I've learned and gained from therapy and all the progress I've made and all of the hurdles that I've overcome. And the thing that Shawnee said to me when we were rapping that I'm holding on to is she's like, you are a lot stronger than you think you are.
Yes.
And this is going to be a challenge, but like you've gotten through a lot. And I was like, that's true. And so I'm sad, but I am looking forward to the next chapter. And I really feel like this is just part of my evolution as an adult. I'm very much in
Mm-hmm.
this stage of like, if it doesn't serve me, I'm gonna cut my hair. I'm gonna cut that man. I'm gonna fly across
Yes.
the country. I'm gonna fire my manager. I'm gonna like, I'm not doing this. Like, no, the answer is no. It's too cold in here. Like, whatever. I don't like it. Where's the manager? Send this back. Like, that's where I'm at right now. And
Right.
so I love Shawnee. Yeah, let's be real. I don't know Shawnee,
That
but
never seen this woman in your life in person. Never. Is that
I've
crazy?
seen her in person.
Have you really?
Yes, when I was in New York, we
Oh, you
were
did in
meeting in
person?
person.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was virtual.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, we met in person in New York. I don't know her. And remember, I told you I saw her at Afropunk, and we just looked at each other.
I did that with my PCP in New York, my primary care physician. Yeah, we saw each other at a circuit party. Looked at him, turned right around. Both of us just
You're
kept on
like,
going.
hey, I know who
You're
that
not
is.
here, girl. The influence I'm under currently. Goodbye.
Do you have a glow up?
This is a cynical glow up because I'm me. I'm giving it up to AI.
Oh God.
Because AI is taking over. AI is, I know we keep talking about it, but y'all, AI is about to take your job. I just heard the story, some news story the other day, probably on TikTok, can't remember where, but it was these people graduating with chemical engineering degrees.
Oh, and have not
and
done
they're
the reading.
working at the pool. Their home pool for the summer, like doing chemical testing, cannot applying for 200 jobs, this young man, and could not get a bite. And then they're also lowballing people because they know, because there's so many people competing for these jobs that they can get people for $62,000 for it's crazy. So I only offer that up because let's really continue to think about how we use AI. Because
I just use it to write my email subjects. Okay, girl. Well, when you can't get a job and they're like, why would we pay you?
Right.
Why would we pay you when we could just use the AI?
I mentioned that movie Surrogates that I was in, which is a dystopian movie about human beings literally sitting in a chair and experiencing life through a sim. Right. So we're headed there. And I also, because some of y'all are using AI to for orgasms and stuff. Okay, y'all taking it too far.
There is a Reddit community called My Boyfriend is AI. And the people are making AI images of them and their partner, and they're writing whole dialogues. And it's sad because it's like the loneliness epidemic of it all.
The loneliness epidemic. Like it's just making us more lonely.
It is, but like y'all are also killing the planet for this shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the flash floods. It's super hot outside. All of this stuff is connected,
right?
Y'all is happening in a vacuum. Like,
God, when they starting to clear farms to make more room for fucking, what do you call those big things where they keep the internet?
I don't know what those are called, but yes, that exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm just giving up to AI because I want us all to continue to pay attention to it and how we're using it, and it is an assistance. It's helping us do things quicker, right? But it's going to start replacing low level jobs. When it starts making your burgers, when it starts making your cheeseburger, I think we're in trouble. In trouble.
I mean, we are not very far off from it, and I'm not happy about it.
I know. So, class, tell us what you think of AI, because we want to hear from you. Again, please email us.
But don't use AI to write the comment.
Please don't. Use them nasty fingers of yours. I don't know why they're nasty, but hit us up, lemmefixitpod@gmail.com. But always, always, always get at us on Instagram @fixitpod as well. Here we are on YouTube.
Yeah,
Here we
we're
go.
on YouTube, but don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you can stay in the know when we have new episodes. I'm Francesca,
I'm Delon, and this
and this was
was
Lemme
Lemme
Fix
Fix
It
It
Season
YouTube
4.
style.
Yeah.